Hello people. Right, I'm going to do a bit of a different one today. This is not for my normal hobby stuff. This is to do an instructional video on how to change the battery on a Yoto Mini. One of these little things. My daughter's got one and I'm not really fussed on the company, but they've got a replacement system out. So let's get going. Right, so delivery box, open it up, instruction link, but we've got paper manual, so we're going to get that out first. And we're just going to go step by step. I will read them out and we'll get through the steps and I'll show you anything we come up against. So, contents of the box, make sure we got it all. Inside the box we should have a pack of screws, 2 long ones, 2 short ones, screwdriver, spudger, a plastic little wedge, replacement rubber feet, and the replacement battery. So let's get going. If I try not to knock everything over. Step 1. So steps 1, 2 and 3 is make sure the power is turned off. Step 2 is remove the rubber feet, and step 3 is take the screws out of the base of the Mini. So let's do that. I've got my own tools, so I am gonna use their replacement parts, but I've got my own set of tools because I feel like they're gonna send the cheapest rubbish crap out. Excuse my language. Rubbish out. Right. So without damaging the plastic, push into the rubber and pull back, and then try and get your finger under it so you can see that. I'm going to switch straight into the zoomy bit so you can all see what I'm doing. So there we go. Let's do that again without getting in the way. So into the rubber, under it, and pull. That is disgusting. That's got wet at some point. Right. How am I going to get that out? This is going to be cut out. Right. No. Step that's not in the instructions. Right, this isn't in the instructions, but I've got some kind of cleaning fluid and a Q-tip or a cotton swab. I'm just gonna go in the groove, take the worst of the old rubber away. Get a different Q-tip because that one's not very good. A small Q-tip. So I'm probably going to skip most of this so you don't need to listen to me talk. Right. Make sure we got all that residue out. I don't think that's necessary a step, but I think it will help in the long term to keep the device clean and the feet stuck on. Right then, we want a +0 Phillips head and holding the Mini on the table securely. There's not a lot holding that in, so they're the short ones. And what we're going to do then, using a spudger tool. Right, so step 4, bring that up so you can see it. Step 4, opening the rear cover using the blue prizing tool provided. Oh, that is not very clear. Right, so that's kind of why I'm doing this. That's not very clear at all. So if you can see by here, you try and get the spudger in by there until it clicks. And just gently keep right, there we go. Yeah, that didn't damage the plastic, so I'd say take it to there. Then we get step 5. To remove the case, start at the bottom and rotate the back as shown. Now I'm expecting there to be ribbon cables attached in here because I've read ahead. I've cheated a little bit. Oh, something's just broken. That doesn't sound good at all. Oh, what just broke? Oh, was it? Yeah, I think it might just been a good seal. Step 6. Battery assembly is held in place by 2 Phillips head screws either side of the case. Let's get our new battery out of the way so we don't damage it, and our replacement parts. Where have I put them? Right in front of me. So same again, either in your hand nicely or on the table flat. I'm lifting it up so you can see. 2 Phillips head screws. And then they don't come all the way out. Step 7 and step 8 I'll read together. So step 7, gently pull the battery assembly away from the body of the Mini to reveal the 2 cables and their sockets. Note that the cables to the larger plug may may or may not have black insulation padding. Okay. Remove the 2 cables from the sockets with your fingers. Plugs may be glued in place, but they can be removed by gently removing the connectors side to side to help loosen them from the sockets. So that should come away now with a screw. Here we go, we are stuck down. There we go. So this one has the black foam and glue. And the screw is falling out. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try and take that glue away with a pair of tweezers. The most rubbish tweezers by the seams. I'm just going to use the tweezers just to pull gently on the... Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to pull it. There we go, one out. Turn it the other way. And that is on there quite firmly, so do take time, don't force it, you don't want to slip and damage anything. Yeah, and that comes away quite nicely then when you take the worst of it off. And there is the battery. So, Yoto player, I believe that's the part we're keeping. I'm going to read ahead and find out. Instruction side 2. Dispose of all the screws and the old parts, and then follow the instructions. So we do that now for continuity reasons. I'm going to stick these on there just so I don't lose them. My one screw is still in there. They are now out of the equation. and I'll find the other screw when we're done. Right, unpack the new battery assembly. So we've gone from reading the old one, version, yep, they've just changed the part number, they've added suffixes to the start, so that's a different part number. With the new battery assembly, attach the two plugs to the sockets shown. Attach the smaller plug with the terminals facing upwards and attach the larger plug with the terminals facing downwards. Important, please make sure the connectors are securely attached. That feels not intuitive at all. So looking at the pictures, so that's what they mean. If I get my tweezers I can point that out. On the smaller one, we're looking to get the terminals, which is the two lines upwards, on the larger connector face down, and then it shows a good connection and a bad connection, so they just need to be fully home. Let's go with the little one first, like they say in the instructions. So it's the little one, if you look right here, with the two silvery ends upwards, and this is where it starts wearing. I'm going to do the bottom one first, actually, because that's easy to get in, and then it'll hold it in place for me. So guide it in until it goes in, and then supporting the battery, so you don't want to pull on any cables. There's a nice little clunk then. And then I believe, which way up did the battery go? The battery's going to go. This isn't intuitive at all. Was it that way up? Yeah, it was that way up. So that can go to get it started, and then without forcing it, and I'm going to guide that in with some tweezers to start it off. There we go. And then I believe the battery sits somehow like that. The cable's going to... We'll wait for the next step. Let's check the next step. Once cables are attached, gently push the battery assembly onto the Yoto Mini. So, what they don't say there, what we're looking at right here is that specifically, where the battery runs on the outside. So, the battery runs like this. So line it up nice and gently. Don't force anything, you don't want to crush anything. And if you can see, if I zoom in there, not going to let me do any light adjustments, but I've lined that up ready. And I've realised now I've got all my plugs and screws still in the bag. Rookie mistake. I suggest you get these screws out before you do this step. Two long screws, and I'm going to use my magnetic bit holder to get them on there. One, and don't force it, just let it find itself a home. And don't do it all the way up, to let yourself have some bit of wiggle room for the other one. And same on this one, just gently start it off, let it find its own threads. And this one, take it all the way in, just hand tight. You don't want to do it any tighter than and crack anything. So same on the bottom one, then go back to the first one and just gently do it up until there. Right, step 13. Refitting the case. Start by attaching the top as shown and closing fully at the bottom of the Yoto Mini. And press until you hear a click essentially, and then put the 2 screws in, short screws. So yeah, they were the long screws, and then you put in the short screws in. So looking at this, you kind of want to, if I'd show it a bit awkward to the one, you start with this kind of angle to get you, so you kind of put your things under there. This doesn't feel right at all. That's because I'm doing it upside down. Right. So yeah, it's this way up first, sorry. Go back to that orientation. In and around. I wouldn't force anything. Yep, give it a nice big squeeze until it clicks. Then you put your 2 screws in by here. So we've got the 2 little screws. Same as when you took them out. Hold it steady on the table and just gently drive it in until you feel a nice hand tight. And again, remember it's going into plastic, so you don't want to drive it too hard. And then I'm guessing step 15 is cover the screws with the new rubbers. And then I think we're pretty much done. Excuse me, sticker 6. Right, again, one thing I would suggest for this is you get a pair of tweezers. Start at the one corner. Try not to touch the sticker with your hand. And then line it up on one end. Take it down all the way over. And then press it in with your finger. Nice and tight. Same again for the other side. So nice and close angle for this. Make sure you've lined it up right. And then press it on with your fingers. And that is the actual install done. So what they say then is, it is important to register your new battery so that we know that you have completed the installation. It also means we can optimize your Yoto Mini's performance. Do this by scanning the QR code found on the side of the battery packaging and filling out a simple form on the website. After installing, your Yoto Mini is now safe to switch on. There we go. And then it gives you advice on how to dispose of the battery. I'm not going to comment on that because you should do what you want with the battery as you want. And there we go. Right. Nice. Easy job. I think that's something most people could probably manage on their own. So have a go. If you don't feel confident, find someone with a little bit of nous about them to know what they're doing. Let them have to do it for you. Yeah. Any problems, let me know. I'm more than happy to comment back and give advice. Thank you very much. Diolch at y boch.